Do y'all remember Mark from season 1 of Love is Blind? He blindsided his wife with a divorce announcement on Instagram. And this psycho signed her name off on the announcement, and it was news to her. She had no freaking idea. How nuts is that? Ronnie says the time change for me. Hopefully, I can still catch a live. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. So sorry. Honestly, I cannot stand this time change stuff because we were all once perfectly in sync, then we were off sync, and now we're back. But some people who were able to join us for the temporary time now can no longer join us, and it sucks. Good morning, Star. You're back. Yes, yes, yes. How was your trip to Miami? Are you back in town? Hope you were having a great time. Nice to see South Africa in the building. Good morning, Lady T. Good morning, Cynthia, April, Tadisha. Wow, you guys, we've got so much to talk about. And yes, it is the 24-year-old Mark. So why don't we start off with him, okay? So basically, guys, when I was recapping season 1 of Love is Blind, I said that this man was a wolf in sheep's clothing. He gets off on playing the victim in his relationship with Jessica, but he is like, 1,000 times worse than her behind the scenes. And now look, right? And we already started seeing like some of his facade cracking during the, that finale show that they used to do after the altar when they would follow everybody after the weddings and whatnot, right? And so that's when we found out that he was leading on 3 different girls. So of course he was leading on Jessica. He was apparently cheating on her throughout their engagement. Then he got with his now wife, soon to be ex-wife, Aubrey, and he was cheating on her, and he was leading on LC as well. He had LC under the impression that they were in an exclusive relationship. Mind you, y'all, this was during the COVID era when you were supposed to have like these little pods of like 5 to 10 people. And you were all supposed to be as safe as possible because at the time, this disease, this infection, whatever, the sickness was spreading like wildfire and nobody really knew all that much about it. So we were trying to be as safe and as careful as possible, but not this guy. He was trying to sleep with everybody he could. And unfortunately, Aubrey decided to go ahead, marry him, and have 2 of his children. And now he tried playing the family man for a little while until he just couldn't anymore. He had to get back to his thought ways. And she actually exposed him maybe on St. Patrick's Day, I want to say. And so she said that instead of being home with his family, being a provider, he went out to the bars to go pick up women. And I just knew from then on, it was over. So Mark, he didn't say anything when that came out. And now here he is releasing a statement on he and his wife's behalf. Mind you, his wife had no freaking idea that he was planning to divorce her. Crazy. This was his Instagram announcement. It reads, and I quote, "Hey everyone, after a lot of thought and conversations, Aubrey and I decided to part ways a few weeks ago. This wasn't an easy decision, but we both believe it's the best path forward for our individual growth and for our family. Our top priority will always be our boys. We are committed to co-parenting with love, respect, and teamwork so they feel supported and secure every step of the way. As we begin this new chapter, we kindly ask for your understanding and privacy, especially for the sake of our children. We truly appreciate your support and respect during this time. With gratitude, Mark and Aubrey." Wow, listen, it's a wonderful message, and it would have been perfect if Aubrey knew this is how you felt. This is how she found out, you guys, that things had gone to that level. So when she saw that post on Instagram, she took it to the comment section to ask a couple of questions about what the heck it is that was going on. What is this man talking about, right? So here she is in her first comment. She says, "Weird how you signed my name on a conversation we've never had. Respect our privacy, yet haven't had a conversation with me since leaving 2 weeks ago. If anyone's confused, believe me, I am too. He is just trying to cover his bases now that he's on Reddit threads about cheating and out drinking with other women." I'm glad that she didn't hold back. I'm glad that she is calling it out because it's extremely unfair that men like this, right, like Mark, can run around treating women all kinds of ways and then get away with it. And then the women get labeled crazy, like Jessica was labeled, right? Also difficult, all sorts of nasty things. And then he leaves unscathed. Even LC, when she was blowing the lid off on all of his cheating on TV, you had Pick Me Amber, who was like, oh, well, you know what? You're not married, so you're single. He could do whatever he wants. No, she was exposing his poor character. And Amber should have let her speak so that everybody could have seen all of this, right? When it was first happening. And so now here he is back to being the same guy he was always. He always was. And he's married. So I guess to people like Amber, that's more valid, but it's worse. It's worse that this is a married man with 2 young children at home, thotting and bopping since St. Patrick's Day. And then he comes to Instagram to make an announcement about it, claiming that he and his wife had this conversation and that they mutually decided to divorce. He signs her name off on this message to have everybody believe that she even had anything to do with it. But she was blindsided. She was logging on Instagram to maybe look at what other people are posting, maybe to share something from her life, what she's got going on. And this is what she finds: insanity, pure trash. So that wasn't her only response. She also responded to another commenter about the announcement, saying, and I quote, "Oh, this is very real. He posted this with no prior discussion with me. He left on March 17th with no warning or an option for discussion. He said, quote, we have drifted apart. I can't provide the life you guys deserve. While his Uber was waiting in the driveway. He hasn't spoke on our relationship until this." That's what I mean, that this is news to me. This was posted moments after I sent him a Reddit thread about being seen out with other women. A guy's got to cover his tracks, but I guess protecting his image was more important than protecting his family. You know who this man reminds me of? Javi from Teen Mom 2. These people who want, a wife and children as like status symbols or like, symbols of growing up and maturing, but they don't want to be husbands. They don't want to be fathers. They just want you to, to portray an image for them. And that's all that it is. I feel so badly for her that she got wrapped up in this, but at the same time, I got to say, I am not surprised. I'm not. LC exposed this. Jessica exposed this. My YouTube videos exposed this. It was all public knowledge. I'm surprised he lasted this long with the fake Mr. Nice Guy act, but I'm not surprised that it eventually blew up in his face. He is not a family man. He is not husband material. I can't speak to his parenting. I don't know. But he's not husband material. He's not meant to be a family man. So it's extremely sad to me that he brought this woman along for the ride. He brought these children along for the ride to walk out on your children, not because of specific marital issues, but because you want to hang out with random people at the bars for St. Patrick's Day. It's crazy. It's crazy. And like her last message about how he had his Uber waiting, he's like, talking to his wife, his kids are in the background, talk about, yeah, like I can't be the man y'all need me to be. I'm going to be at the bar. Deuces. That's crazy. That is crazy, isn't it? Oh my goodness. Good luck to you, Lauren. I don't know what this man does for work. I want you to go for spousal support. I want you to go for child support. But is he someone who makes that much money? I don't know. I think he was a personal trainer. So if he's got a lot of clients or if he's doing these online, clients, online training or whatever, maybe. But I really hope she gets some good money out of this. Oh, KO Queen was just from Uruguay. That's amazing. I have some friends who actually just went to Uruguay. How was it? It looks so beautiful and so underrated. Sorry, Theo. We're back to 10 a.m. I'm sorry, boo. Stars back in Philly. Miami was expensive AF. Amen. Amen. I have heard that. But I'm glad you had a good time. You deserved that getaway. Ali said, Mark has shifty eyes. Yup. Listen, he tried so hard to be portrayed as the victim, as the puppy dog. It was all an act. He knew that the way he acted would get Jessica villainized, crucified, and would have him heralded as this amazing guy who deserves more. And so he knew that there would be a lot of sympathy coochie thrown his way. And so he took full advantage of that. Shay says, and that's why I could not stand Amber. She was so disrespectful and rude and thinking just because somebody isn't married that they're not entitled to respect and monogamy from our relationship. Exactly. honestly, the way she was speaking to Elsie was disgusting. Mind you, she had been married for like a whopping year at that point, which congratulations, but stop it. Stop it. You were expecting monogamy from Barnett before you got married to him, right? You were upset at him for dating other people in a show about dating other people. But Elsie can't be mad that this man cheating on her caused her to get sick with an illness that we didn't even know how dangerous it was at the time. She was just so damn insufferable. Ramster asks, who are these women who now get involved with this guy? And most of all, what is the exact? That's what I don't understand. And y'all remember in Friday's episode of the Morning Report, we talked about one of Andrew Tate's girlfriends filing a police report. To me, the stuff he did to her, first of all, I believe her, right? And the stuff that he did to her was not shocking to me. The thing that's shocking to me is how anybody could be interested in this person who has been very, very open about the fact that he literally despises women. You know, I don't know what some men have to do for women to be turned off and to avoid them, you know? But you know what? In these women's defense, the alleged mistresses, maybe they don't remember or know who he is because he was on season 1 of Love is Blind. So all about Minnie, that's cute. Elsie is from season 1 of Love is Blind. And so she wasn't a main cast member. She was in this love triangle with Barnett, with Amber, and with Jessica as well. But you mainly saw her on After the Altar. So if you want to like see her in action, I would recommend you watch After the Altar because that's where you're mainly going to see her. She's a very, very beautiful, very, very sweet girl. And so she got involved with Mark after the show. They were supposedly exclusively dating. But when she got sick with COVID, that is how she found out that this man had been sleeping around town. And then Jessica, his original fiance from the show, she found out that this man was sleeping with half the gym that he was meant to be coaching. He is a player from the Himalayas. You know, God bless you, Aubrey. I'm sad that you're stuck with him for life now. But listen, you're still young. You can find yourself, a better man. You can, but for the time being, I think it's best to heal and just take care of your kids. This can't be easy. It really can't. I feel badly for her.